Welcome back to Artisan of Glimmith. Let's do the puzzle thing, starting with this puzzle here. Got a level 6 hiding out here. Each region contains exact one symbol, and there's a bunch of compasses. Well, I don't actually have many great starting spots, so realistically, I'm gonna have to think about which tiles go to which compass. Like, because it's not always gonna be the close ones. Sometimes you need certain tiles, for certain compasses. See how neither the 9 or 8 are fulfilled here? Yeah, so where would be an actual good starting point? The left side, actually. Because we got 2 nearby compasses with zeros. So realistically, we have this compass with a 7. But I'm gonna tell you right now, how many cells are to the left? 11. Yeah, so this can't get all of them. Well, so what else? This can't reach that far. This can't get over without spending the up part. And then this can't get left without spending the up part. This can't get over without spending the down part. This can't get far left. So this will have to help out on the left side. And of course, technically this will by 1. But I actually don't think it's going to get this, because then these 2 are going to be stranded. I think our yellow boy is going to have to go and grab these. And then maybe, oh no, definitely not down. In fact, actually, that's everything. Unless we think it can grab this. But to be honest, I don't know why it would. I guess only if the other 2 don't add up to be enough. So let's leave this open right now, all right? We got 10 that for sure need to be covered by one of these 2. Now, this can go left, but it only has 12 going up. So I want to see how many left it can capture before it runs out of ups. It can get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but not 7. All right, so I think it might go this far just to allow this to actually break in, because already we actually have 7 facing left. So I think it's reasonable to state that all the left 2 columns are covered like that. And in total, I have 10 going up from our friend down here. Let's make them purple. So I still have 2 more up and 2 more to the right, which I guess if we do right, I was thinking at most we can only have 1 that's both right and up. So there still needs to be 1 in this region somewhere. Let's think about our blue, actually. We still need 4 to the right. And 4 to the right also fulfills 3 going down. This cell, this can't reach it. And this certainly can't reach it. So it will be you that grabs it. Now we have 11 out of 12, which means we do need 1 tile that's only right, which is this one. Now it could be 1 up and 1 right, or it could be the combination of these 2 or these 2. And I'm thinking it has to be that, because look at this. Again, it can only get 1 from the left. So only 1 of these 2 are up for grabs by our dark blue. So I do believe this has to go over, but technically it could go either way now. And actually, I think either way is very important, because we have 5 going down, which does force this sort of shape. Well, now I need 6 going right. I already have 3, and this can only go down once. So our options are doing this or doing this. So these 2 are always blue. And then I cover the other one and no further. I guess no further is important then, because blue can never extend into here, so this must extend back. So it really is either is up for grabs. Okay, what about this cell? Technically, this could run down and grab it. You know, if it wasn't for the fact that it's choking off the yellow. So I think I'll leave our orange friend alone. Actually, orange itself is kind of interesting, because it requires 6 to the left, but only 4 up. And technically also only 6 down. The 4 up matters because it's actually really hard to get only to the left. In fact, there's only this. If we are to go down, we can cover 1 to the left, but that gets 2. So you're telling me the next ones to the left have to be both up and left, but not exclusively up? I think that's interesting, because that would also cover all 6 of the ones going down. So now this really has to start extending out. And whether or not this is filled in is going to depend on how yellow fills out to the right, which might matter with this shape. I guess it's blue. It's going to have to go up a little. take it this far. 4 to the up actually does require it to go here as well, but then it could fill out here, which also would complete the 1 to the right. Now, the 1 going down pretty much has to only be here. Can't do this. It'll overload the 2, so you are coming down. And then the only other compass that can grab these 2 cells are our yellow here, which now has 6. And actually, since this can only grab one of the 2, it'll have to be 7 here, and then it'll get the 1 this way. So since it has, 7 to the right, it'll have to go down here, and blue will have to fill in there. Okay. So now this must go up, and we can't be on both sides of the same line, so whatever this is needs to start making its way towards a compass. Let's just get, this is 3 that's up and to the left, and this would make 4. I imagine this is going to meet up with this one. And now the thing about this compass is it has 3 down, which we only have 1 so far. So the only other way to get 2 are like this and this. Otherwise, we risk overloading the 5. So that's as far as that goes. Let's see. Is the rest of it trivial? Yeah, I believe it is. These 2 can go up, and this fills in nicely. The ring. All right, we're so close to getting this silver bordered. Let's tackle this here. 5, 5, 5, 84. Okay. That's fun. Also, all regions have different shapes. Oh, so I can't use the same 84 shape twice. No, there's 144 total, so there really only can be 184. So we know that all these are going to be part of the same. We'll just mark them blue. They're all going to connect, and I think that's actually the nature of the puzzle. How do we make the 84s connect? Well, the 5s almost serve as barriers, so this kind of has to come on out. But there's 3 hallways to get to the 84s on top, so I don't see what's required yet. Also, neighboring regions must have different areas, which realistically means the 5s must just be on their own island. Also, it was 144 minus 84 is 60, divided by 5 is 12. There are 12 Pentominos, so we pretty much know, since all regions have an area of at least 5, that we need each of the Pentominos. Although, wouldn't it be possible to have 10 Pentominos and then a 10 piece? There's nothing that says we can't do that, but I feel like if you are making this puzzle, just getting inside the developer, you know deep down it's more satisfying if you cover all 12 Pentominos and then this stupid little 84. Wait, also, how many 5s are there total? Does that help at all? It's 24 5s. I don't think that actually matters because like this 5 is never reaching another 5. So we are going to have some shapes with 3 5s. Are there any cells that could never be reached by a 5? You know, I guess besides the existing 84s. You know, funny enough, no. It seems like somehow a 5 could reach pretty much everywhere else. And that's really surprising. You would not expect that. Okay, I mean, I guess we know these 5s have to be together, right? If you have 2 adjacent 5s, they're always going to be part of the same region when mismatch is in play. That's all I got there, though. Well, I guess I should really be thinking about how on earth are these hallways going to be made? And by these, I guess I would actually mean just the 1. My suspicion is that we'd go through the side, just because like this could easily become a long piece, which still allows passage. So since all regions have an area of at least 5, I guess what's interesting then is around the borders of the 5, all of the orthogonal cells are going to have to be part of the 84, and then whatever consequences become of that. Again, unless if like a random ass 10 is in play. I don't know. I don't believe it. I wonder if I could just disprove it, or disprove the existence of a 10 entirely, just so I don't have to worry about it. So let's think about it. There's 24 5s. If there were a 10, there would have to be 10 size 5s remaining, because 144 minus 84 minus 10 is 50, divided by 5 is 10. So we would, for example, have 1 shape here, because it can't reach another 5. Then we would need 23 5s for 9 shapes. This can at most reach 2. So we'd have 21 5s for 8 shapes. And then we're even going to ignore duplicates. You know, we're going to pretend that doesn't matter. How is this going to be part of 3 5s? I think realistically it's not. It can grab 1 that way, one that way. And that would actually be it because we can't violate size separation. This would also violate size separation. So this at most will get 2. So 7 shapes, 19 fives. I'm trying to aim for a ratio, even ignoring duplicate shapes. Okay, this can get 3. This could not get very many. I guess we could always do this. That's a possibility. This could grab this. I know it's a duplicate shape. Don't worry about it. Well, I guess, you know, for what it's worth, it's, how many shapes is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is 10 shapes, but we do have duplicates. So maybe now I could start caring about duplicates. Okay, let's see. I could maybe grab this and then do something like that. Or start messing around a little bit. Nah, I mean, we'd just be doing more duplicates. Even ignoring the pockets of less than 5. Just trying to see if it ever works. I keep coming up with duplicate shapes. This time there's 3 F pieces. Yeah, I think because it's this hard and we're not even close, I don't think it makes any sense that there's 10 5 pieces and 1 10 piece. I think I'm going to officially operate under the assumption that there's 12 5 pieces. So, what do we got? Well, we have 3 potential 5 pieces for... You know what? Maybe I actually could be checking hallways. Is it possible for blue to sneak through here? Feels ridiculous, but you never know. So this will have to merge. This will have to come out. Same with you. They'll have to come out further. And then we are going to need to pass under at some point. So we could do like this. Then if we continue the shapes... Well, these two would have to merge. Then this can't expand to be its own 5 without being next to the others. So it's going to connect here. Then this can't merge. It looks to me that it's a little bit too choked. I feel like a better way to prove it is just looking at, you know, we can't make this move because then we'd be forced to make a size 6. So it must come out here and then merge with here. So this must go down and then merge with this, which always leaves behind a pocket of 1. So therefore that alley is wrong. Let's try the second alley. What if we come on through here? And technically that's all that's needed out of the alley. This looks a little bit more doable. I don't know if it'd be exactly these. Well, actually, what is interesting is that, you know, the 5s in this diagonal are never going to reach the 5s in this diagonal. It's just going to be too large a shape, but there has to be something separating them. So logically, blue would have to come in between somehow, right? Like it'd have to kind of partially come through anyway. And if blue were to come in that far, we would again have something interesting. I guess technically something I missed is originally when I did the first diagonal, I could do this shape, but that still spells issues. You know, actually, it spells a few fewer issues. I don't really love this approach either. But I guess it does reveal, like, yeah, even if one alley goes all the way through, the other alley is still going to need to have some sort of checkerboard like this. And when it has the checkerboard, that's still going to partially block off the alley. So I wonder, where is the checkerboard within this alley? Where could make sense? If I did something like this, the checkerboard would basically be here, right? Because we'd have blue and blue, which then must come out. I think that's actually pretty sensible. Except, what about this area here? Because sure, we could connect these, but these, that looks pretty required to be blue. Maybe that's what I need to be looking at. Aha. Like, can we really have a future if blue doesn't go up? Then somehow all of these are going to have to be part of 5s. And that just simply doesn't work. So, okay, blue must go up this far. But again, we would still have 4 only dedicated to 5s, which would force a large section. So blue must continue. Then we'd have these 3 dedicated 5s, which still requires a lot more 5s. So this must again go up. But now we can actually make this shape. Or we could have blue fill it in. So maybe that's what I need to focus on. We actually have a similar concept right in here, right? It is actually an alley into the 5s. Can all 3 of these be dedicated 5s? No, because we'd need this monstrosity. So you must be blue, and then come out and connect the blue. What about these 2? That is fine, because we could have these shapes, or that shape. And then this could come out. No problem. Everyone's happy. So I can at least draw this far. Start here, bring out a yellow or orange, which must merge to here. So then, actually, these 2 can no longer both be dedicated to 5s because they'll have to merge with here and these. So we must bring this over at least 1. So then this must come down and complete a shape here. Wow, our first completed shape. And this, of course, could be dedicated to 5s. There's a lot of potential there, so we can officially leave that alone. These would have to be dedicated to 84. This can't cross it off, so it is going to come out here. And yeah, it can't keep blocking it off, so it'll at least go this far. No, it has to reach the other 84s. There's not going to be a 5 that comes in between. Then I can start looking, can this really be a 5? Can't reach here, so it would have to go up here, but then we have 2 5s next to each other. So that looks connected. And I'll need to think a little bit more. Here's a weird question. Can this be dedicated to the 5s? Because it would have to connect to these 2. But then what about this 5? No matter how it expands, it can meet up with these, but then be forced to be at least size 6. So if you are blue, we can draw some more barriers. And then think about how the blue is going to escape, right? It could either go out this way or out this way. And if it is down, look at this 5 here. It can't go very far into here because it can't be touching the other 5. So it'd have to come over, but it blocks off the blue when it does that. So blue would have to go up anyway. So the main conclusion is from here, blue must escape going up. And now we can probably do a bunch more 5s, right? Force this, end of blue here. Can't go here, it'd be size 6. So then I guess if we have a border, we got to have blue on the other side, which must come out. This would have to come down. And again, it can't extend into here. Just simply no room. So it's going to make this shape. Another completed 5. Okay, okay. Then I can ask a similar question. What about this cell? Can it really be dedicated to 5? Because we'd have to look at this again, no matter what. It's going to make a size 6 when it comes out. So you are blue. Get blued. Now, going down isn't going to have the same problem with this 5, because it can do a whole lot of different things, hopefully without cutting this off. I kind of want to look at this 5. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. And a blue right here that escapes. Is there any restriction to it going up and out? Have to merge here. To merge here. Everything seems fine. Okay, so this one's actually a bit less fruitful. But whenever this 5 does escape, it is gonna choke off one of the 2 exits for the blue. Therefore, safe pasture blue cannot be through here. And we already know it's not through here, so the only option left is, in fact, going through here. This is where the blue shall go. Now, technically, we don't know if it does this, or if it does that, or if it even does that. But we do know that these choke points are required, which then forces this up. Looks like it's going to be one of 2 long pieces. I guess I know this blue can extend down, which then actually forces an L piece here and connects. 3 down, 9 to go. You know, actually, I guess I missed that this cell could never be a part of any 5. It just can't reach without making a size 6. Whoop-de-doo. Unfortunately, that doesn't really help me. Okay, because we have the big zag, we know that we can't have this go right because that'd be 2 of the same shape. So blue must go in here. Block that off. So this shape is still up for grabs, but if not, we're gonna have to bring out this shape, right? Because this is already taken, which would allow blue to come in here. If we were to do that, we would still have a duplicate regardless. So that means the only option left is not doing this, but specifically doing this. M piece taken, and I can fill these in. So we do still have the big L and the long piece, so can't narrow anything down yet. I think we're starting to run out of 5 pieces that can connect a cell and a cell that's 2 diagonals away from it. In fact, the only one that's left Are there any left? Well, yeah, hold on. I see all 3 of them right here. Because I was thinking, oh, this piece, but that does not connect the diagonals away. T piece doesn't connect that. Plus piece doesn't connect it. P piece doesn't. I think we've officially run out of ways to connect. For example, this 5 to this 5. We could never do this, and any other options are just off the table. What's interesting is I don't think this can go left, because when it connects, what are the options for expansion? We have an M piece here, which also creates an island, of course. I would have to go up. Oh, it could create this piece. I was going to say it would then have to go here, which is also not valid, but it could totally do that. Yeah. You know, I think we're running out of ways to do the plus piece. In fact, the only viable option I see is right here. Yeah, where else could the plus piece be? Everywhere it just makes it adjacent to other 5s. Or is on the edge of the board, so it won't work. Yeah, that's interesting. This is actually the only plus piece. That is not a deduction I expected at this stage of the puzzle. It's quite nice. Okay, well, because I've made the plus piece, that means this can no longer go up, right? Can no longer have a connection here. It's either M piece or M piece. All right, so 5 must come up and connect. And 5 must come out, blocking this here. Merge here, this must come up. Now this can't go left because we'll have a duplicate piece. So, where I assume we're connecting these 2 5s. Can it go left here? Well, we'd have to leave behind an island of 1 then. So, no. I guess it's going down, and we can't have duplicate pieces, so I guess it's going to be the L piece, which does then force this to go up. But how it finishes, we don't know. I assume it's probably going to be going up, because going down will eventually block passage. I think the passage will have to go here, but that's only thinking with uniqueness. I think right now I just want to think with the rules I've set out. Well, okay, no, let's take a look at these 2. They're obviously merging. What are our options, right? I guess we could do a U like this and then connect this in here. We could also do a P piece and have this connect here. I think that's it. Well, so because that's the long piece, we know this can't be the long piece anymore, so blue extends. Also, I think we're out of ways to do 4 in a row because both this and this are taken, so we have to get rid of that. Of course, this piece is still out there if it didn't choke that out, but that's nice. I guess this has to be reached by 84. This here is either going to be part of a 4 long, which is no good, or part of a 2 diagonal, which are all taken. So we connect here. What pieces do I even have left? I guess I have the U, I have the P. I do have the other kind of long piece, demented long piece. I have the T. Isn't that it? Oh, this piece. That's the 5th one. Okay. Which piece is which? Or rather, where could the F piece go? It could go here, but then what about the T piece? Oh, the T piece could go on the bottom left. I was thinking like both the F and the T were so clunky, I couldn't fit them both in. We know that this couldn't be F or T. This couldn't be F or T. Upper right could never be F or T. It just doesn't fit. So these 2 are the only other ones that could be F or T. Bottom one can't be F. It doesn't fit anywhere. So it must be T. And then top 3 must be F, which this is the only way to do it. Okay. Upper right is the only one that could be this funny long piece. Only catch, it appears that there's 2 valid ways to do it. Wait, that's... No, it doesn't have to be. This actually has to be the long piece. Because I realized we have to cut in here, and then this comes up, this comes up. This must be the funny long piece. Upper right has to be a P piece, which there's only 1 valid way for that. Fill the rest in with blue. I guess I can fill this in with blue. And then we've only the U piece left, which is going to be filled in here. No, it's not. Oh, I missed the possibility as well. We could have the U piece up here and then P piece here because this has to connect. There we go. Right? That's done it. Beautiful. Okay. I got a little ahead of myself at the end, but I basically had it. I was just rushing. All right, we'll dive into this cave here for a level 7. The Crescent Moon. This is actually a tiny level 7. Okay, and it has the Solitude again. So what are we doing? First thing comes to mind, these three columns. These three columns. There's only 4 out of 7 that we can grab here. So where are the other 3 coming from? Not from here. Just simply getting there is enough. Not from here. Getting up is too tricky. So it has to be from really low, right? Could it ever be this one? Like, even if I did this? Well, I can get 3, except for the fact that it leaves behind an island. And if we were to not do an island, it would have to look like this, which then invalidates the 5. So it can't get any of them. Okay, so I feel like it has to be one of these two, because they both have infinite to up and to the right. Well, the way I see it, there's 2 ways to get there. Either through here or through here. And I think this one's wrong, because how on earth are we getting the 6 to the right? You know, even if we hug this, we're going to spend up before we spend right, and it's certainly not going around the bottom because, I mean, this needs a 6 to the left. It's just not getting through. So that does mean this will have to kind of come through here, but I don't know of the exact path it'll take. I mean, I could look at the left side, right? There's 7 total, and red can only grab 6 of them. So it would have to be maybe something like this, and then we could fill in there, just for example. And then, you know, it could always continue off. Unless if we think there's a world in which this comes down and helps out for no discernible reason. So here's what I definitely know. At some point, red is going to end up about here. And it has to be mindful of what is now orange to not block it off from expanding. Realistically, also since this is a connection, orange has to get 5 up and 4 to the right. I think that means orange does not go right first, because that's a smaller number. I think it goes up, and then right, and then it does whatever up here. So I think because of that, red will snake by here. Now, if we think about this shape, which of the 7 to the right do we think it's going to grab? Knowing that it has to go down at some point, I believe it's going to block off this, so red is going to have to come over the top, which means that we can't just block it off like this, because nothing is coming through then. Nor like this, right? So I think if we're going here, we have to grab this one, and then we have to grab these 2. Otherwise, we're just going to be blocking off some of them. So that means our boy red is going to get at least these 5, and then still have to connect somehow. Now, there has to be space for orange, and then red, and then, of course, blue to fit in. If red goes to the right, we're not going to be able to get 5 for blue without then cutting off red somehow. So I think red's going to have to go up, forcing orange up further, allowing red to come through and orange to be capped off here. Technically, it could go down. Orange could still go down, but we're not worrying about that. Instead, we're worrying about blue, which has 3 down, 4 down, 5 down. That is actually finished. Next, I want to look at this shape. Mark it with like a yellow. It needs 4 up and 6 to the right. So I was thinking like, oh, it's got to grab these up, but that's not necessarily true. It could also grab this, and then red could come in and grab the rest. I guess that's actually kind of it, huh? Right, there's 5 viable ones for yellow to grab out of 4 going up, just to not cut off red. So it has to grab these, just so it can grab at least one of these 2. So red must extend out, and then this can only be grabbed by yellow. So now it's really one of these 2. Is there any world in which it actually makes a difference? Because like if red comes down here, then we know red has to grab this, but then there is actually effectively no difference between this shape and this shape. So I think the idea is supposed to be that it's actually a 3rd shape coming through here, and thus then down. That's the only way this makes any sense to me, which is nice because it actually does let me fill out 6 to the right here, and then allows red to continue quite far. So realistically, it has to meet up with this, unless we think it's going to meet up with that, but there's honestly no difference. However, I can't say I like that either, because from here, red needs 3 down and only 1 to the left. So we can't fill in both of these. So we have to cover here, but then that leaves behind an island of 1. So maybe the idea of a third shape is just wrong? Yeah, I guess. I mean, I guess I could also look at 6 to the right. Yeah, actually, duh. The difference, okay, the difference between these two shapes with red filling in the other is the 6 to the right. Duh. I'm pretty sure it's not coming around and grabbing a 6th one to the right from down here. It's just gonna choke something out. So realistically, I think it grabs these. Well, but then what about a cell here? It doesn't cost yellow to get anything from there, and it doesn't cost red to get anything from there. So that doesn't look right either. Oh, I guess the catch, no. Well, I guess I was thinking the catch might just be that is a different shape that grabs the upper right, but there is no such shape. If we have this be like a light blue or something, it's not going to grab here. We have 4 to the left, not 3. This has more than 5 to the right. This has 4 to the right. Oh, this is valid. Oh, it has a 0 down, so it's never getting its 4 to the right from here. It actually has to be that shape. Aha, okay. That's what I was missing. I didn't even bother to look at that. Well, let's try and fill out this shape, which I believe is forced here. And we come in and get our shape here. I think that's just the whole shape, right? Because this needs 6 going down, so we'll block it off here. This needs 3 going down still. So if it were to go here, it can't get both of these, which is an issue. But if we did this, I could fill these in and have light blue grab that. And then this grabs 3 to the left like this, allowing me to block off light blue. Wow, okay. That really tripped me up. I feel like we should be really close now with this shape here. There we go. A crescent finish and a silver mirror. Tune in next time when I take on the quest to gold. Thank you all for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. See you in the next video. Have a wonderful day and peace.